Hello and welcome guys. So we are back in Blender now, and in this lecture we will be modeling the cartridge for our Game Boy. So let's start. What I will do now is I will just turn off this Game Boy collection so that we don't have anything in our view, and I will press Shift plus S and cursor to world origin to bring the cursor exactly at the center. And now if we will enable back the reference images collection and just quickly press 3 or 1 for the front view, you will see in this reference image we also have a small little portion for the cartridge, so we can definitely use this image to like create the Game Boy cartridge. But I've also added certain separate reference images that focus entirely on the like Game Boy cartridge only, and we like have in proper resolution so that we can create it properly. It is like not that high quality over here, so it might create a little bit of problem for us while modeling it. So I will just turn it off. First press 1 for the front view, then we can press Shift plus A, and in the image add a reference image and quickly head over to your reference images folder, and you will find this image over there. So just bring it in, and this is like really high quality, so we can definitely use it for creating the cartridge. It is much better than this one. So yeah, this process is pretty similar. I will just select it, press G then Y, push it backwards, press 1 again, and let's start by first pressing Shift A and adding a cube, enable X-ray, and let's quickly size it up. So yeah, that's pretty good. Press S then Y, and for thickness we can just like roughly give it any amount for now. We will change it later on. But let's just give it something like this. Press 1 again, and let's see. We can start by creating a small cutout. So press Tab, press Ctrl R and add an edge loop over here like this. Then add another edge loop over here like this. And then what we can do is press 1 for vertices select these vertices, press X and delete them. So very simple. Now you can just press Tab, press 2 for edge select this edge and press F 2 times to fill out the faces. Yeah, pretty easy. Alright, I will quickly enable back the Game Boy, and let's just try to fit in the Game Boy in this space so that we can know what type of thickness we want to work with. Alright, so I think something like this would be alright. Maybe we can decrease it a little bit more. Alright, that looks pretty good to me. It fits pretty well, and yeah, I think that's fine. Now what I will do is I will just select it again. Let's bring it out over here. Disable back the Game Boy. Press 1. And now we can just scale down the reference image according to our new size. Alright, so I think that's perfect in my opinion. So let's press Ctrl A, apply the scale first, and then we can add a bevel modifier just to bevel out the edges and decrease it. Enable harden normals and auto smooth. Let's press 1 again, enable X-ray. And obviously we need to bevel out these edges a little bit because they are pretty rounded. So we don't have to do the bottom edges, I think, but for the top ones, we can do is press Tab, select this one, and these 4. So hold Shift and select all of them. Press 1, enable X-ray, and now just press Ctrl B and bevel them out like this. Yeah, that's fine. I think shade smooth this, enable auto smooth, and let's see. Next, we can create this cutout over here. So press Shift plus A and let's add a cube. Scale it down. Now scale it according to the reference image. And yeah, I think that's good. Press Ctrl A, apply the scale. Now let's disable X-ray and press Tab. Press 2 for edge select. Hold Ctrl and Alt and select all these edges. And then you can just press Ctrl B to bevel it out. Give it quite a few segments so that it is pretty smooth. I'm just trying to fit it perfectly inside it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now let's just right click, shade smooth this, apply the scale once again, enable auto smooth. Now just select these two, press Ctrl minus and move the Boolean modifier above the bevel modifier like this. And now to make the cutout look a little bit better, press Tab. Let's enable X-ray, press 3 for face select and select this backside face. And what I will do is I will bevel this face out like this so that it gives us this like smooth edge feeling like this one. Select this, press S then Y and scale it like this. Alright, that looks pretty good to me, I think. Yeah, let's move further. Again, enable X-ray and let's create this cutout now. So again, press Shift A. First, we can create this thing over the edge. So if you see in the reference image, these edges are like kind of beveled out. So what we can do to create this is first press Tab, press Ctrl R, press Ctrl R and you can add an edge loop over here. And again press Ctrl R and add an edge loop like this. And if you remember, we learned how we can like snap these edges together. So make sure to select vertex snapping from over here. Press G then Z, move it around and hold Ctrl to snap it like this. Press 1 for vertices select, select these two, then press J and then select these two, press J to join them all together. Now you can hold Alt to select the complete loop, press S then Z and now press 0 just to make sure they are perfectly in straight line. And yeah, now I will place them right about here. And what I will basically do is I will just select this edge and select this edge, then press Ctrl B and decrease the amount of bevels and just bevel it out like this. Let's just quickly view it in the reference image, how much we have to bevel it actually. So yeah, just about till here. And yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, let's proceed further now. Enable back X-ray. Press Shift A, add a cube, scale this cube down. And now try to match it with the reference image again. Yeah, that's fine. Press Ctrl A, apply the scale. And now again press Tab, press 2 for edge select, hold Ctrl and Alt, select all these 4 edges, press Ctrl B and bevel it out. We need to see how much we have to bevel. Yeah, that's fine. And now you shade smooth this, enable auto smooth, bring it back. It is like a very small cutout, so just a little bit inwards. Then select them both, press Ctrl minus, and now move the Boolean modifier above the bevel modifier. Yeah, that works perfectly. If you see a little bit of shading issues here and there, I think adding a weighted normal modifier, yes, will fix them. So yeah, just add a weighted normal modifier. And next we can create this small little triangle over here. So press Shift A. Let's see. We can add a cube maybe. Yeah, we can work with a cube. So the way we can create a triangle shape out of this is press Ctrl A, apply the scale first, press Tab, and press 1 for vertices select. Select these two vertices, press M, and merge at center. Just to merge them, and select these two vertices, press M, and merge at center. To create something like this, then we can maybe press Tab, select all these three edges. One for front view, enable X-ray. Okay, first we need to align it properly again. I think that fits better now. So press Ctrl A, apply the scale again. Sorry. And select all of these edges. And now let's just bevel them out. Make sure the scale is applied. Shade smooth this, enable auto smooth. And let's just move it backwards. And yeah, I think it's looking fine. Move the Boolean modifier above the bevel modifier. Do see just a little bit of shading issue going on over here. If we enable keep sharp, it gets fixed. But I don't think it is that serious. So yeah, I think I will just keep it this way only for now. Maybe we can fix it later on because it is not that much. Maybe adding a bit more edge loops would fix this. So just add a couple of edge loops over here, and yeah, that fixed it. So just press tab, and in the main object just add a bunch of edge loops by pressing Ctrl R, and you can see that fixed our issue. All right, let's move further. Select this, press tab, and select this bottom face. And now I will just press I to insert this like this and extrude it inwards like this. It won't be visible from the bottom, but we have to create it. It is like the USB chip area that gets inserted into the machine. Yeah, something like that we can create, or we can give it like a rough shape. Let's add a cube, scale it down, and just place a small cube over here. Let's duplicate this, bring it out. First, scale this properly. And yeah, I will delete the older one, select this one, and just bring it down over here. And yeah, just create something like this. And now again, I will select this, press slash for the isolation mode. Press Shift plus S cursor to select it. I will add a cube. And again, we will create those like golden chips like thing. Bring it out over here and just add an array modifier and duplicate it a bunch of times. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. All right, let's move further. Make sure to hit save and just select all of them and press M and move them to the cartridge collection. Enable X-ray and let's create these cutouts now. So let's see. What we can do is we can press Shift A and let's add a plane, a simple plane. Rotate it on the x-axis by 90 degrees. Scale it down and place one over here like this. Let's bring it out over here till here and like this. Now just select this one and move it back. And yeah, I think that was pretty easy to do. Now we can just duplicate this, press Z and move it downwards. Move both of these vertices behind and place them accordingly now. We can add one more vertex if you want to make it look a little bit more curved. Select the middle edge, press Ctrl B and bevel it out just to give it a smoother look. We can do the same thing with this also. Select this now, press Ctrl B and bevel it out. Alright, so again I will select this, duplicate it. Let's see, we can select all of them, press S then X and just type in 0 to make them flat. And this one is like completely straight, so I think it works okay. I will select all of the edges in the between because we don't really need them for this one. Press X and dissolve them like this. So pretty easy. For the bottom ones, I think we can use these two only. So let's see, we can just select these two, enable back X-ray, duplicate them, press Z and bring them down over here first. Then type in S, then Z and -1 to flip them out like this. So yeah, pretty easy as you can see. I think this works pretty good. So I will just select all of them and just press Ctrl J to join them and bring them out over here. Now let's add a solidify modifier to give them thickness. You can see the thickness is being added in different directions. So just press tab, press A to select everything, then press Shift plus N and it is still not getting fixed. So what you can do is, let's see, I will select these faces and these faces. So just leave these two out because these two are the ones that are flipped. And now press Shift plus N and select inside. As soon as you do that, now all of them are moving correctly as you can see. So yeah, basically that's what we had to do. Now just select this, press Ctrl minus to create the cutout. Let's bring it out over here like this. And now we need to move the Boolean modifier above the bevel modifier. Yep, perfect. And our next step is to duplicate it over to the other side. So just select it, add a mirror modifier, and we need to just disable the mirror modifier for now so that it does not get weird. And we can select the mirror axis as this object because it is exactly at the center of these two, and we want it duplicated uh, along the left and right of this object only. So I will select it, go over to mirror object and select this as the mirror object. Now select, first enable it back, and yeah, now it is mirroring properly. All right. So our cartridge is looking pretty good to me. Let's hit save and keep on working further. Press tab and we can add a bunch of edge loops over here just to give it a little bit more geometry. So again, press Ctrl R and let's see, we can add a single point only because edge is not being added. So again, add these two, select them both, press J to join them. Now similarly add 2 points over here also and just select them both and join them. And select this, then press J to join them, and this, then press J. Press Alt and select the complete loop, press S, then Z and type in 0 to make them flat and move it at the top. Now just add a bunch of edge loops in the between. We move it like this. Okay, we need to add another one. Now select this and this, press J, hold Alt, press S then Z and type in 0. Now you can add a couple of edge loops in the middle. All right, so that's pretty good, I think. All right, so now what I basically want to do is I want to make this cutout like appear over here also till the back side. So I will just select this, enable X-ray and select all of the objects of it. Then just press Shift plus D to duplicate them and then hit right click to place them exactly over here. Press P and separate out the selection like this, just so they are like completely different objects. Okay, just let me select it. So yeah, they are like two different objects. I will move it a little bit behind so that we can easily select them. Press Alt plus H to bring back the hidden object. And yeah, basically these two are like completely same. I will just select this one, the one we duplicated just now. Enable X-ray and just delete all of these vertices over here at the side. Press X and delete them. Now select all of these vertices. Press E and press X to extrude them till here only. Move it over here. And now I will just show you what I basically want to do is I will select this, press Ctrl minus and create the cutout. And I will select it and move it like this. And now increase the solidify modifier. Move them till here. First select it and move the Boolean modifier above the bevel modifier. And yeah, now I will just increase the solidify like this. They're kind of looking a little bit thick from over here. So select this, press tab, select it all and just press G then X and move it like this. So yeah, it's looking pretty good in my opinion. Let's continue and we can give it a little bit detail on the back side also. So if you go into the reference images again, you will find the photo of the back side over here. So it is something like this. Let's see how we can create it. Come back in Blender and first, let's see, press Ctrl plus 1 to view the backside properly. And now We can turn off the reference image for now, so just disable it from over here. So now let's just add a cube, press Shift A, add a cube, scale it down. Move it out over here. And now let's see. We can first press Ctrl A, apply the scale, press Tab, press Ctrl R and add two edge loops like this and hit right click to place them at the center. Press S then X, scale it out. And we can maybe select these two loops, press Ctrl B and bevel them. Make sure they don't have any edges in between them. Now just extrude it out like this. Select this, then press Ctrl minus. Let's bring it out. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. We can now move the bevel modifier below the boolean, and I think that is pretty good. Next, we can add two cylinders in the center and one cube over here at the top like this. So again, press Ctrl plus 1. Let's add another cube, scale it down and place it right about here. Yeah, I think something like this is fine. You can move it out again, select this and press Ctrl minus. Make sure to rearrange the modifiers. And yeah, finally we can just add two cylinders, scale them down. So this one is kind of like a UV sphere. So let's see, we can add one cylinder right above this. Shade smooth this, enable auto smooth and use the Boolean modifier. Now just move the Boolean modifier above the bevel modifier. And if you remember, we like added this bolt factory add-on so that we can add bolts. So let's just place a single bolt in the center. We can maybe scale this down a little bit. Press Shift plus S cursor to select it, and let's add a bolt. Pretty big. So let's see. We can. It's kind of a weird shape. Maybe I'll just go with something like this and change this to. Okay, I think the top is something like this. Or yeah, I think that's fine. We don't have to go that deep about this. Press tab, press 1 and enable X-ray and just delete all of these vertices. You can hold Alt and select all of the loops, press X and delete them. And now just select this, then select this, press Ctrl C and copy location. Rotate this by 90 degrees. Rotate this by minus 90 degrees. And yeah, now just scale it down and place it back over here. Yeah. And now I will add a UV sphere just above this. Scale it down on the y-axis to make it a little bit squished. and now use the Boolean modifier on this. Rearrange your modifier stack. And yeah, more or less we have something like this only. Sorry. So I'm pretty happy with this. Alright, so let's hit save. Select everything, press M and move it to the cartridges collection. Okay, so one last thing before finishing up the lecture, I'm noticing that is our bevel modifier is not really working anymore. As you see with the edges, they look kind of like very flat and you cannot even see them at the backside. I did not notice this earlier, but now I'm noticing it that the bevel modifier is not really working. So how can we fix this? So the very easy way to fix it would be to just select it and come down to the bevel modifier, and under the geometry tab, just disable clamp overlap. As soon as you do that, basically bevel modifier starts to work again, but everything would be weird. Like you will see all the shading issues and uh, geometry overlapping with each other. The reason for this is whenever we disable clamp overlap, now the like overlap clamp is removed and the geometry can freely overlap with each other. The bevel modifier won't stop it. So when you increase it too much, you will see it gets like really weird. So first what we need to do is we need to set this to a even lower number. So something around 0.002 maybe. And now what we can do is, if you see all these shading issues, just select it, press tab. That is because the geometry is colliding with the like Boolean modifier. So press tab. Let's select this one and move it a little bit upwards so that it does not like collide with this, and select this one and move it downwards. And yeah, now you will notice that we are not facing any type of that shading issue, but it still looks like pretty weird. Let's keep on fixing it and we'll see. I will move this a little bit inwards. And these ones also, I will just select them, push it a little bit inwards just to fix that shading issue. Maybe we can increase it or decrease it back to 0.001. Yeah, that looks the best, I think, in my opinion. And we can see this is poking out. So press tab, press 3 for face select, and just move it behind like this. I will bring it outwards just so the cutout is like very faint, because I don't want this Boolean cutout to be too deep. Alright, now you will notice that the edges look much better and we can see everything properly, and we don't actually see any like huge shading issues. We see a couple of them like very closely, but far away they won't be that noticeable. Last thing that I'm noticing is some shading issues over here. So let's see. It's kind of tricky to like work with UV sphere, so I will just scale it up first and I will press S then Y and squish it up a lot. And now we don't have any kind of shading issues, but it looks kind of weird, but I don't think it would matter that much. I think it looks fine. Our cartridge looks much better this way, I think. So let's just hit save, and yeah, I will end it up over here. In the next lecture, we will apply all the modifiers and UV unwrap it and start with the texturing process in Substance Painter. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.